What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Tide Talk. It's Monday, October 6th, and we're here to discuss last night's 3-1 win, or maybe not, with the Las Vegas Lights. Just a reminder that each episode of Tide Talk is available on YouTube. And if you're watching there, please take a second to subscribe to our channel and hit that thumbs up button as it helps YouTube show Tide Talk to more people. You can also find us on your favorite podcast applications like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And if you're listening there, we'd really appreciate it if you left us a 5-star rating and a short review, as it helps more people find our podcast. One last plug, if you're not already using the RIFC Club Collector app, sign up and enter code TIDETALK25 to get an exclusive pack to add to your collection. So everybody, let's cozy up. Let's crack a spindrift. And let's dive into this one. I'm Ryan, now I'll be your host tonight, and I'm joined by Mr. Player Ratings himself, Timmy Sclafani. Timmy, how are we doing?
Yeah, pretty good. This is a little deja vu with you and I going again on a Monday night. But so like last week, the body clock was messed up because we did, Friday night game, Monday night pod?
Yep.
The week before that was Friday night game, Sunday night pod. Now we're on Sunday night game, Monday night pod. We've had like every combination of scheduling.
Well, I mean, next week we get Saturday night game, long weekend Sunday pod. So, that'll be a great live chat. I'll tell you that much. But I'm getting some breaking news in my headset here. I submitted the wrong team sheet. I thought Matt was going to be on tonight. So I think with you showing up, we might have to forfeit.
I hate this entire storyline. I like the joke. I hate the storyline.
Honestly, I was debating ahead of time of like, can we just ignore it and to be clear, we're just going to talk about the game, but we'll talk about this more. But yeah, Timmy. So leading up to this match, as you said, we did play on a Sunday with basically the entire rest of the league playing on Saturday. There was a lot of kind of tension building up there. So Detroit City beats North Carolina, which really ruined my entire weekend, basically. We did have Birmingham and Tampa also win, so creeping up from behind. The only good news for the weekend was that Louisville took care of business with Indy, so meaning we were still just 1 point out of 8th place, but seeing 7th place be a little bit further away, feeling the kind of heat from behind us. Anything that stood out to you leading up to the match in this one?
I mean, I think you nailed it. I think the Detroit result just completely ruined my weekend, and just started it off on the wrong note. I kind of checked out after that to some extent. I think we always assumed that Indy was going to lose to Louisville. There was another non-league result that came on Saturday night that also very much ruined my weekend. Involving,
that is not in the script. Yeah. We're not talking about that.
Good. I don't really want to, but yeah. I think it kind of went like generally as we would have expected. I was saying last weekend, I didn't trust Detroit or Indy 11 to lose necessarily. And Detroit, it came to fruition. They didn't, they won a game that they probably shouldn't have. So annoying, but we are back in a playoff spot. So we'll take it.
Yes, we will get there. But, as we move into this one, and I am going to keep this one moving swiftly along tonight, we did have the lineup come out. We had Koke Vegas in net with Grant Stoneman. See, what happens when I try to put an order in my head. We had Koke Vegas, Hugo Baccarat, Grant Stoneman, JJ Williams, Albert Dikwa, Noah Fuson, Clay Holstad, Jojea Quizera, Zachary Harival, Karifa Yao, and a starting debut for Hamidi Diop. Timmy, anything stand out for the lineup here?
Yeah, this was kind of a crazy lineup. It actually, at first read, I was like, yeah, there's only a couple changes, but the more that I looked at it and thought about it, especially in preparing for this, there was a lot of changes. So like you said, Diop's first start, that's a significant milestone. I think a lot of us assumed that was a signing for next season. We got Dikwa and JJ starting together for only the 4th time this season. That was something, at least I know I agree. And I think they only started maybe 10 games together last season. But our record was just better last season. Our record was a lot better in the games they played together last season than they are this season. And then we had Stoneman getting only his 2nd start since that long injury that he had for July and August. And then the one that I guess on reflection, I thought was crazy was Ibarra not playing at all in this game. Like, we haven't seen that for quite a long time. And I thought it gave us a pretty different look. So that was an interesting one. And then just the hands heartbreaker, no Frank, not on the bench, not not in the starting lineup. He was nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, to Scott's point here in the chat, starting JJ, Noah, and Dikwa seems wrong. Do you have any issues with kind of having that much of like our offensive, basically all of our offensive kind of subs, starting from from scratch? You still here? Did we lose Timmy? Oh, I think we lost Timmy. So to that point, I do believe in the idea of saving some people. I think Chico, seeing him come off the bench, I think was really good. And I also think, losing Joe Brito, who was unavailable tonight, is a hit to that, because then you just don't have that spark off the bench. But Timmy, we lost you for a second there. Was saying, do you have any issues with all of JJ, Noah, and Chico starting?
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully the me freezing doesn't happen again. The lineup, I don't mind. No, I don't have an issue with that, because Kano still found a way to make attacking subs there. Like, we clearly had a much more attacking look for the last 20 minutes of that game. So it didn't matter that we didn't have necessarily the firepower on the bench. We found a way to make the attacking subs, and we had. I guess we didn't say it on the lineup. We had Maxi, Amos, and Atkinson all back on the bench. So at least Maxi and Atkinson there, like that's a good addition of firepower that we didn't have last week.
Yeah, we are getting to a point with people coming back to health. We also saw Mabika back on the bench as well. And, Connor's going to have to start making some really tough decisions, which I think makes, starting someone like a Diop in this one, who we haven't really seen much of. He's a new signing, a pretty big call from Kano. So, you hope that there's, something going on in practice or something that, gave him the confidence to do that. But, as we move into the first half here, really felt like a classic game where no one could get a handle. Quite frankly, just very ugly to start out. Ball was just pinging around. A lot of this game felt a bit like a basketball match, with it just kind of going back and forth. But, that all leads up to the kind of first big moment of the match in the 14th minute, where Vegas goes on to hit the post.
That was a full season. Those two teams still would have been the last two teams standing. Try from distance here off the post. Oh, surprising everyone. Koke Vegas just dove to the ground and watched it and hoped it went wide.
Love this first touch right there. Notice head up the entirety of the way.
Absolutely smoked that one. I don't think Koke is anywhere near that one. He's pretty far out, but honestly, really disappointing with how little pressure was on him there. You don't expect the guy to absolutely rip one from like 30 yards there, but not a soul was around him, and he made the most of that there. Timmy is 4.5 out of 10 connection. Joe, I think we gotta really lower the scores there. But so a pretty big moment, I think, gets RIFC on their toes. And to the point of this being a basketball match, absolutely zero control on our end. A pretty shocking stat. We only had 1 tackle in 3 interceptions in the first half. Very Rhode Island FC like, to be honest. And it just showed how little we could kind of exert any control there. We also did not even come close to them in terms of possession. So really, really odd one. But to me, what did you make about, both that Vegas kind of deep strike, but also the kind of lack of control we saw from RIFC?
Yeah, I mean, on the shot off the post, I was very frustrating that it also started with a pretty rough Koke goal kick. So like, he just kind of shanks it into like halfway between the halfway line and our 18-yard box. And it just led immediately to a chance. Like you said, no one closed the Las Vegas player down. I thought for the first like 15 minutes, we were actually pretty in control, and right at that shot that hits off the post, complete change. I think for the next 15 minutes or so, Las Vegas had 80% of the possession, was what they said on the broadcast. So like, I thought we were pressing, we were stifling them. We had the ball in their half a lot for the first 15 minutes, and the rest of the half after that, absolutely nothing. I mean, we didn't have a shot on target. It's not a good half, but I thought okay in the first 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, like, I don't know that much else happened in this half. My big notes that I wrote in real time, it looked like we wanted to take quick throws and corners, but I'm happy JJ's not taking them. That was good. That was respect to the throw-ins. Their captain looks embarrassing with those basketball shorts on. How does he want us to respect him like that? And then my last note of the half was that the Hugo yellow was absolutely awful.
You think the foul or the call?
Getting a yellow.
I agree. And the broadcast was, you would have thought Hugo murdered a man live on the field the way they were talking about it. Yeah, it was a 50-50 ball. He has every right to go up for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a header. Like, he's allowed to just try to go for the header. It was very, very strange. Not the only strange. I don't think the ref was like particularly bad in this one, but she had a couple weird moments. I kind of feel bad. She did get a lot of extra stick, which we now know why she was chatting on the sideline, but we were giving her absolute hell from 205, and I feel a little bit bad. But yeah, so again, a kind of weird first half, and to bring up the stats here, 62% possession. Oh no, I didn't swap the logo. This is even the right. Oh, this isn't even the right slides. Oh no, this is absolute blunder tonight.
I mean, while you pull them up, one other thing I was going to mention from the first half, only because it got an audible little moan from Ryan in the stands. Like I heard it. We had a set piece like to the left of the 18-yard box, and Noah, I think Noah lines up over it, but Diop hit like this low ball across the goal mouth. Like it got cleared relatively. Oh no, someone's making a run. I think it's Dequa, but then he pulls up before the ball goes in. It looked like it had some potential, but I heard Ryan get a little excited, like made a little ooh when he hit it. He was trying something new.
This was fun about when you do a show with the person who sits next to you in the stands. You get all the little details like that, folks. But I finally corrected these stupid slides. This is why the Monday show after a Sunday night is difficult. But it was 0-0 at halftime, not to be confused with what I had written down. We did see 59% possession for Las Vegas. Only 7 shots total in the first half. No big chances for either team. We did see, I mean, again, to Rhode Island, to the point of Rhode Island FC having very little control here, both 41% possession, but also just 75% passing accuracy. Very, very low. I mean, even from our standards, which were usually in the high 70s, but pretty sloppy all around. 10 fouls for Vegas, 12 for Rhode Island, and then 1 corner for Vegas to R2. So, again, a pretty tame half. I don't know that either team really had huge threats besides that one really long range shot there, but any kind of big takeaways at halftime to me?
Just like I mentioned before, I thought if you watch back the first 15 or 20 minutes, like we were all over Las Vegas. Our press looked really good. It was actually, again, something you and I talked about last week when we did the Bournemouth kickoff. I was like, why did we do the kickoff and then not press up to win the ball back? This time we did, and that continued for the first 15 or 20 minutes. I don't know what changed around the 20-minute mark, but for the next, again, like I mentioned, for the next 15 or 20 minutes after that, I think it was 80% Las Vegas possession. We could not get the ball. They were passing through our midfield. It was almost 2 different halves within the half. Like the first 20 minutes or so, I thought we were playing pretty well. The only thing that obviously wasn't coming was shots and chance creation because we didn't have a shot on target in the first half, but better than I remembered it when I rewatched earlier today.
Okay. We have some comments about Diop in his debut. Obviously he went a little bit past the halftime mark, but any calls there?
I thought it was a decent debut. Like when I was watching back and speaking about that press, like there's more than a couple of times where he's pretty aggressive stepping up on his man receiving the pass, and he actually does win the ball back or get it into the midfield. So I liked what he brought in that sense, but I thought his ability on the ball, both passing and dribbling it, didn't look as strong as Mobika or Hugo in even of their debuts. So I get that there can be some like nerves and getting settled in, but I feel like both of those guys in their first substitute appearances, we were like, whoa, these guys can really pass or dribble or both.
Yep.
And I didn't quite feel the same for Diop, but I thought he mostly played pretty well, and it was a fine debut in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, my bigger takeaway and the kind of bigger surprise was at this point in the season, it feels kind of wild to mess with the back three. We can complain about a lot of things, but the defense has been the standout of this team as well as Koke. And to see only kind of one of who has been our recognized back three for this kind of core part of the season be back there last night, I thought was really strange, especially bringing in this new guy. I thought he was okay. I definitely was a little more down on him to start. Thought he looked a little kind of lackadaisical and lost on the defensive end. I really like my defenders to have a huge sense of urgency, a little bit of that panic gene. A little nervous that he might not have that. Obviously, very small sample size. And, we're going to see more of him. He is signed next year, so a lot more to come. I do love that he's left-footed. He did try a lot in terms of trying to, do a little bit more long balls, go a little more direct. So, more to come from Diop. I don't think either way, I don't think it was some kind of big debut to write home about. But to me, the only final one is, what did you think of the halftime light show?
Maybe could you explain that to me? Like, I saw them setting up for it, and I had the app, but it was doing this weird thing, and then I wasn't in my seat at halftime. What happened?
Yes, so this was interesting. So we, there was one night at the Guild, like early last season, for a watch party, and the team came and they actually demoed this for the Defiance and let us like test it out with them, and then we never saw it ever again. So I thought that was always very odd. And then last night they were like, download the RIFC app. And I was like, oh my God, this is finally happening. My biggest question was why wait to do it on a game, like one of the only games that was during the day. I thought that was very odd. But I do think they were practicing for next match.
So
I also wasn't in my seat at halftime.
So they did it I mean, why would they do it at the time when the least people are in their seats?
Great question. Moving along. So definitely moving to the second half. So we did just have one, or no, we didn't. Vegas had one change at halftime with Stojanovic coming on, and he made his impact feel almost immediately with Vegas's goal in the 46th minute here. Sorry for all the chimes going off. You can hear that.
From FC Tulsa. More of a presence, can play back to goal.
Here he is right away. Stojanovic going for goal. Ask and you shall receive. Vegas start the scoring a minute into the second half, and it's Stefan Stojanovic.
From A to B to C. Skipping a hop in between.
So really odd goal. Honestly, a great ball in from the left back or center back, whoever that was on Vegas. There's a lot of people who don't think really cover themselves in glory here. Again, Diop the ball kind of like awkwardly bounces over his head. Yao kind of gives up a little bit on the play. And I think it's a very odd reaction from Koke. I don't know if he thought it was going wide, but really doesn't even move for it. Unfortunately, I had someone not a fan of Ryan FC, but a fan of the league text me and ask if Koke had just come back because he thought he had a concussion. He was like, oh, did he just come back from a concussion? I was like, no. And he goes, oh, wow, wait. Okay, then what was he doing on the goal? Which is about how bad I think that goal looked live. So, Timmy, what did you think of the entire team's performance there? I have to say, if you are listening to this on the podcast, Timmy's internet is going in and out, and boy, oh boy, is he freezing in just like perfect frames tonight here. But we'll get Timmy's thoughts on the goal in a second once he pops back in. But moving on from there, I can't say that we looked like the team who was most likely to score from the night out. We didn't really have the same level of urgency moving forward. But Timmy's just fully gone now. So we're going to solo this for a little bit. But in the 58th minute, we kind of get the first big change in this match, which was Amos and Maxi coming on for Haraval and Diop. I was a little bit disappointed to see Haraval come out. I thought he was having a really great match. I think he's, again, been one of those people that we did not take enough. I don't think we thought enough about him being out of the team to bring him back in. Was hoping maybe we made some different changes, but overall, I think both Amos and Maxi made brought a big spark to the match. They both brought a lot of energy, and with that change, Hugo moves to the back line. Clay Holstad, everybody, moves into midfield, and then Noah rotates over to right wing back. So, Timmy, I believe you are back with us. So you get a free run at both their goal, what we looked like between the goal, and then the Amos Maxi sub.
First of all, I just have the most incredible news for you, which is my internet's going to work fine now. And that is because I still had my VPN on from rewatching the match earlier.
Oh, I might, I am probably also in like Paris right now. So yeah, I hear you. All
Yeah,
right. Well,
so my apologies. I was in the
abroad.
Netherlands. Yeah, I was in the Netherlands, but yeah, I think that will be resolved. So that's my bad. Sorry, folks.
A+. All right, let it rip.
Well, I think the very unfunny and repeated joke I think I was trying to say was when you say that someone's a fan of the league, I think of Rob Lowe. But I've just been dying to get that one out for like 3 minutes now. I thought Diop, that just should have been like a easy clearance. He just lets that thing fly right over his head. Not great from Koke. I was a little confused by that too. Like I think he's when I was watching it back, I was like, is he a little far from the near post so he can't quite it's like a little too open so he can't like really dive in case the guy tries to go near post. I don't know. It wasn't pretty. I also think he was just shocked that the ball got through. Like that just felt like a clearance you make 15 times a game, and it just went terribly for us. But I guess it happens.
For sure. And so what'd you think of the Amos Maxi sub?
Yeah, so I liked it. I think so how did it work? I'm sure you just broke it down. Yeah, I pulled Hugo into the center back. So we kept 3 in the back going from this sub. Maxi went to like more of a 10, and Dikwa and JJ were like 2 up top, and Noah came over to the right. Is that correct?
Yeah, so Maxi basically took Noah's place. Noah took Clay's place. Clay took Zach's place. Nope, Clay took Hugo's place, and then Hugo took Diop's place. I'm missing somebody in that rotation, but and then Amos moved for Zach. Yeah,
I mean, at this point, honestly, anything that moves Clay into the midfield, like I'm reasonably happy with. I liked that it got Maxi out there. The only thing that I think myself and probably a lot of folks found strange with this sub was taking Haribo off. I still don't again, this is one where it's like, it's hard to argue with the results, but if they hadn't gone our way, I think a lot of people would be like really questioning why Haribo came off. He came off around the same time last week, so it could be like a fitness thing. But yeah, I just don't understand taking Haribo off, because he is that midfielder who like really quickly can take an outlet pass from our central defenders and turn it into like a very quick counterattack. So I'm always a little surprised by that, although I guess you could argue by having Maxi and Clay move into those spots, we're kind of covering that specific skill set. And again, it did work out, so who really am I to question it?
Absolutely. So from there we get, I thought, a really bad card for Karifa Yao. I generally still don't know what happened. Like the other player kicks the ball away, and then they both get cards. That was very odd. We didn't have Koke. He went down injured with that kind of really little scary injury. Like it looked like it almost hit him in like the chest or the neck. A little confusing. I know Koke did discuss after that it was so bad he actually thought he was coming out. Like we saw Jackson quickly go to warm up and get in the game, and apparently that was real. But Koke said it still hurt after the game, but he is feeling a bit better. So kind of during all of while Koke's down, we were trying to make a sub. We were trying to make a few. So both Busy and Aldair took their pennies off and were about to come in. They held Aldair back just in case Koke was injured. So we did see just in the 70th minute, Atkinson came on for Chico. And this is, I think, where the game kind of really starts for Allen FC. So this is where I was having an absolute lovely time up in 205 with this one, because it moves Maxi back into midfield. Busy moves up into that top, kind of that winger spot with Noah on the other side. Hugo moves to right back, and boy, oh boy, we are playing a back four for the first time, and I cannot remember. And I was really excited for this. Did I expect this to solve all our problems? No, but this is definitely a formation attack I've talked a lot about on this show. We're going to talk a bit more about it in the slides afterwards. So, but Timmy, what'd you think about this sub here?
Yeah, I mean, these changes and going to the dedicated back four, which effectively gives us like an extra man either in the midfield or in attack, I think led to our best 20 attacking minutes of the season that we've had so far. It was just chance after chance. Unfortunately, going both ways. Las Vegas had a lot of chances during this stretch as well. But yeah, I think these are kind of the subs that many of us have been asking for, to see that back four. The only concern, which we all, I think, shared and was immediately exploited on the first play, was Quizera, left back, that's a little defensively sparse. I think that's just, he's a wing back who I think is more of a winger. Alder is a wing back who's more of a fullback.
Yep.
It's a little sketchy putting the wing oriented wing back at fullback.
I mean, to Kano's credit, I think he meant to do that as a double change. I have to give him a shout out for, sticking to the more attacking option, trying to chase this game, because, we were playing a Vegas team who is last in the league. They, I think, are last in the league in goals conceded all year. So I don't hate going with the more attacking option, even though it kept us on our toes. And like you said, I think these were the most entertaining 20 minutes of the season. Did I love every minute of what was going on at our defensive end? No, but boy, oh boy, was the crowd up for it after this point. So, just 7 minutes after that change, we do see the first goal for Rhode Island FC in this one.
Come to life for Rhode Island. Crowd more into it now as well. They capitalize on this wave. Fed back on the hit. Oh, he went the wrong way. It deflected in front. Maxi Rodriguez celebrates it. Rhode Island have their equalizer.
Relationships getting this entire front line and creativity all headed in one direction. The rumors that circulated prior to the final.
So I think my favorite thing about that is both Amos and Clay look like, I can't tell if they looked like they're celebrating or they like wanted the ball back, but that was extremely cool to see in slow motion. But yeah, great interplay. Starts off a little bit weird with like both Clay and Hugo going to the same spot. Hugo just kind of drifts over. Quizera takes it down the wing, cuts it back in. Maxi with a really nice flick off, and then Hugo kind of rounds the corner and has a really nice shot from the outside. Potentially takes a deflection, but goes on in. But yeah, to me, what'd you think of the RIFC opening goal there?
I mean, just speaking of going for it and the lineup that we were using at that time, that sequence also starts, well, it's a Koke long kick, I guess, but it starts with Karifa Yao winning a header like maybe 5 or 10 feet ahead of the 18-yard box. So even our two center backs that we had left were pushed way up the field. So like Kano was fully going for 3 points at this time. So just wanted to note that. But besides that, yeah, like you said, some players were like a little bit on top of each other. I think we had made these subs pretty recently, but just for me, it's like the flick for Maxi, the little back heel that he does there with two guys on him. I think there's probably Maxi and Noah are probably the only two guys on the team who can do that. So lucky for us, we had both of them over there on the left side of the field, kind of waiting to make something happen. Really good from Hugo. It's a shot that he should be taking and putting on target. I think he had quite a bit of space to get that shot off. You can kind of see him lining it up for, it feels like a really long time. And then it definitely takes a deflection, to be fair. 100% takes a deflection.
That's not what the chat's saying. That's not what the chat's saying.
Oh, there's one specific replay angle. I don't recall if we just saw it. It certainly deflects off of the first defender, the nearest defender to Hugo.
Listen, you can take it up with Martin next time you see him. But yeah, so this game, from there, I think the only takeaway I had, I was like very annoyed that we were celebrating so hard, and I was like, grab the ball and get back to the center circle. Like we have to win this game. We can't. A draw is not good enough. So that was my only big gripe about the whole thing. But great interplay. I think it's kind of one of those attacking movements that we've been looking to see more of. I think we got a bit excited last match seeing some nice interplay between JJ and Noah, who we'll talk a bit about later. But seeing the team kind of string together some nice passages of possession and getting some clean shots off, I think is something we've waited literally all season for. So long may it continue, but it's not all RIFC one-way traffic here. In the 81st minute, we pretty much quickly after this ball is brought back in, we see a great save from Koke Vegas.
Select ball bounces to McNamara, touches inside. Tommy McNamara saved by Vegas.
So no, Sean Buxton brought up Tommy McNamara, Revs legend, I guess, in the chat earlier. Very nice to meet Sean, to see Sean and meet his wife last night behind us. And quite frankly, that was a crazy moment of like number one, how does he get behind? He's not like the fastest guy on planet Earth, but a really fantastic save with him basically one-on-one with Koke there.
Yeah, I mean, Stoneman just got his pants absolutely yanked to the floor on this sequence. I could not believe that happened. I'm 100% Koke bailout. I mean, getting turned like that by a 34-year-old like veteran striker is just a tough look. But we got out unscathed. There was
barely.
Yeah. There was a similar ball over the top. I wanted to say this reminded me, Koke was so far up and he clears it out. Nobody will think second of it. Nobody probably remembers the play, but when it happened, and it happened in a similar setup to this one, I was like, that's the same play that last week against El Paso, Clay takes the touch and it goes in for the own goal. And people wanted to get on Koke for being so far off of his line at El Paso. And I was just, when he cleared a ball last night, I was just like, that is the trade-off right there. Those are the plays we'll never think about again that are saved by Koke being 40 feet off of his line. And it happened either right before or right after this McNamara chance.
Yeah, I have to give you credit for that because we did talk about that in real time there. So then in the 84th minute, there's no play here. This is kind of the real big tension of the match. So the Vegas sub, so Colville comes on, and this is kind of the big moment. In real time, we didn't have any clue what was going on. We were booing the living hell out of the ref. I think she had just made a pretty bad call, and then it seemed to almost be compounding. It's like, why are you going over to the fourth official? Kano's kind of giving it like half attention, which quite frankly should have been a clue that something was going on. Because if it was just run of the mill refereeing, Kano would have been absolutely all over them. So very odd there. And we will talk a bit about what occurred at that 84th minute. What are the ramifications of that very soon. But from there, we then get to the 90th, and it is one of the more wild 5 minutes of this sport you're ever going to watch. We have 4 videos just from these 5 or so minutes here, but it all kicks off in the 90th minute. And I think a lot of you will know what is about to happen here.
From the corner, Garte couldn't get there. Holstead running with Atkinson. Holstead continues on. Fuson there for support. In the middle, so is Sanchez. Holstead. It's Fuson! 90th minute. Noah Fuson sends the supporters into absolute ruptures, and Rhode Island has the lead.
Trying to get the game winner on one end, disaster on the other. The set piece, as you commit here, the turnover fine, that pressure needs to come earlier. Nearly get in their own way. Holstead, what a touch. And as he goes, watch the bottom right side of your screen. Nate Jones asking for help. The rotation doesn't come quick enough. And
So goosebumps all over again. What a play, especially Clay Holstad, just an absolute freak athlete. Kind of bring that entire play along. I did not realize how close we were from Sanchez basically accidentally putting in a tackle on the ball that makes it across to Noah. He is so close to making that touch, and it would have been so 2025 Rhode Island FC if that were to happen. But Noah absolutely buries it. Does the Henri celebration with the corner flag, which I loved. And I love just Clay, the bear hug with the two old Columbus Crew boys. So Timmy, what do you think?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Aldair was, first of all, good on him for leading that line and keeping up with the play, but he was dying to ruin that chance. He wanted to get a foot on that ball so bad. But yeah, I mean, really good sequence starts again with Atkinson. So I mean, we've seen him with like an electric sequence coming down that left side, attacking at the supporters section in the Jaeger Cup game against Birmingham, and he started this move again with like a really nifty flick. In real time, I thought he just turned the ball over, but he gets around his guy. Clay kind of takes it off of him, but also I think Busy was going to turn it over with that touch that he took. So Clay kind of saves the play. And then great run, and the finish from Noah is what I'm most impressed with. And I think I wrote it in player ratings, but it's a finish we probably wouldn't have thought twice about last season because we just scored a lot of goals. But this season, that feels like a chance that we've seen and missed even other times. So it looks like a finish from a player who's playing with some confidence, which he should be after the last few games that he's had. So very well worked goal and just massive moment in the season, obviously, as it put us back in a winning position for this game.
For sure. And not to be Mr. Negative here, my only gripe with this one, I could not believe Busy was not in the mix at the end there. He had only been on for like 10, 15 minutes, and both, Clay, Noah, who, had just played the entire game so far, a lot of it at wingback. And then, even Aldair, who's not the quickest guy in the world. I think Busy's pretty quick. For him not to kind of be in that cohort that's up at the box at the end was interesting. But again, it's a phenomenal goal. Honestly, if you want to talk about moments of the season at Tidewater, I think that has to be up there. Just an absolutely electric moment. Not that we've had a lot to celebrate, but like we said, this is a crazy 5 minutes. So we get the Noah goal, sends Rhode Island FC into the playoff positions, and with all 3 points coming home. And then we get a wild series of corners where I was concerned they were going to get all of our free chicken sandwiches in one here. So we'll start with the 92nd minute where we get the
5 corners in a row.
I think something crazy like that. I didn't want to sit down anymore, but we get the Amos save right away.
Corner dropped in. The header! Is it in? Referees conferring. It's saved off the line for now. Still loose in front. Another chance for Rodriguez. It's out for another corner.
Absolutely nuts. So fun one about this. So Timmy and I are sitting with each other, and I said, so I used to play, and I played fullback. As you all know, I'm not the tallest person in the world. I used to love just hugging the post. So I see Amos doing that. I'm like, my man, best job on corners. Because you just you're not in the mix, and hopefully you might have to clear the ball out, not from the net, but just you might have to clear it. Boy, oh boy, am I so happy that Amos was on goalpost duty there. But yeah, Timmy, big shout out to Amos. I know he's someone who has been very high in the Defiance Player of the Year ratings. He's someone who I think has been acknowledged by just how much effort, work rate he's been putting in this year, and just another big moment from a year that I think we've seen a player really grow into this team who unfortunately was injured most of last year. So anything to say on the big Amos save and just even the Amos season so far?
I mean, I think that was the play of the game, honestly, because he saved 2 points essentially with that clearance. I also loved that the rebounded chance, that like the second attempt, which leads to their second corner, but the second attempt there, I think we had 4 guys who could have got a block on that show. They were flocking to that ball, like finally some urgency and looking like they want to win the game. I do think it was. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say my favorite reaction was like Mabika. He just gets up and it's like immediate, like huge fist pump.
Oh.
Like again, back to my whole like I have some quirky things about defenders. Like that's what I want to see from defenders. I want passion. I want you to be excited about stopping goals, just like you're celebrating the ball going in.
I completely agree. It's like, yeah, it gets me pumped when they celebrate a defensive play as if it was a goal. But I will just add on Amos too. Like we missed him for a couple of games, and his cameo last night made me realize like it's almost easy to underappreciate that effort that you're talking about and like the 110%. I thought it was like jumped off the pitch when he came on last night. He didn't do anything exceptional with like his contributions in the game, but the like ferocity that he goes into his challenges and recovers the ball and pushes it forward. We don't have any other player who plays that hard, truly.
Yeah, it was pure injection of energy. Just like I think people think of Busy kind of on the offensive end there. I think just that level of liveliness in the midfield. And I think a pairing of him and Clay, especially in that midfield, and even Maxi. You know, Maxi, I don't think gets enough credit for how much yards he covers and stuff like that. So it was definitely a midfield that could cover a lot of the ground, and I think we saw the benefits of that as the game got more and more stretched here. So that was a 92nd minute. We had the Amos save, and like we said, there's just a never-ending set of corners. So we get a Koke save here in the 94th minute.
As things stand, another corner comes in. McNamara lines it up. It's redirected and saved by Vegas. Oh, he denies Herbert.
So just again, it's like every one of these corners was somehow so ridiculously dangerous for what felt like no reason for a team who I like. Rhode Island, I think, has done a pretty decent job, on corners and stuff coming in. Usually one of our 18 6 foot something guys gets a head on it, but boy, I don't think we did the best job with these. But somehow the boys kind of close up shop and are able to get out of, like you said, those 5 corners in a row there. Which then leads us to the 95th minute where we see JJ Williams put a bow on this one.
They'd like to breathe easier with the third goal and the insurance for Rhode Island. Williams turns the corner, still in front. It trickles in. Anchored down, 3 points away. Rhode Island will end the night above the playoff line in the East.
Took 70 minutes to light the fire. Changes off the bench. Belief retained. But all of it about forward thinking and vertical philosophy. They've worked outside in incredibly. 2v1 combinations. The ability to work off of each other. Triangulation.
I would say having to take off both the jersey and the like GPS training bra is extremely funny. But there's so much about that. That's great. JJ with pressing to get the ball back. Did you think he was going to the corner, or did you think he was going to try to score?
Well, 100% thought he was going to the corner, which made it so much better. Like the first 2 touches he takes, it's like, okay, take it to the corner, protect the ball, kill some time. And then he just takes that one little touch to get inside. Everyone's off their feet. My legs were wobbly. I thought I was going to fall out of my chair. Like, well, yeah, well done, JJ.
Yeah, I mean, it was incredible from him. Like you say, he takes those 2 like kind of nonchalant steps, which are like the classic, like I'm gonna go and just post up in the corner. And then I think he, quite frankly, does it to dupe the defender, because the defender slows down too. Turns the corner. He does a great job kind of selling. Like he picked his head up, did a great job deciding what to do. You can see him actually kind of drag his shooting foot, because I think he was originally going to pass it. Ends up just burying it behind the keeper. So many funny things after that. You see Busy just boot the ball. You see JJ takes his shirt off. Maxi immediately picks it up and starts like folding it to give it back to him. JJ, standing there in all the glory. The lights going off was sick. Just again, another extremely cool moment. Again, of a season we've talked about. There haven't been a ton of really cool ones, especially at home. But I unfortunately had a friend who left. Their kid unfortunately had to go home, and they left right before the equalizer from RIFC. And I was like, man, you came to the right game, but you left at the wrong moment. And yeah, boy, was that unbelievable from the boys.
Yeah. I think we heard about a few people who had to leave around like 70th minute, right before really all 3 goals. But
Yep.
Something funny about, and I mean, please rip your shirt off to celebrate a goal that big, literally any time. But something kind of funny that would be, and this is going to be irrelevant because of the forfeit thing, but that was going to be JJ's 6th yellow card on accumulation, which is fine. But if he got 1 in each of the next 2 games, he would miss our final game of the season against New Mexico. So maybe the forfeit. Oh, no, the yellow cards are staying. So just saying, if JJ ends up missing a game on yellow card accumulation, blame it on the well worth it celebration of him ripping his shirt off celebrating this goal.
Yeah, I thought the funniest part about it was he was celebrating for so long, and the ref had the yellow card out like the whole time everyone was coming, and she was just like standing there, just like, let's go, get back. But
Yeah.
One thing I love Ewan pointing out, playoff JJ is back. And we'll talk a little bit about this in a second, because I also was like, that's the kind of cocky shit that JJ was doing in the playoffs. Like, screw it, I am going to go take on 4 people and try to chip the keeper. So Ewan, I totally had a completely agreed to there. So Timmy, before we get to our full-time stats here in the actually we'll go to the full-time stats. So we, as you know, RIFC, with the forfeit we'll talk about in a second, but won this one 3-1. Expected goals were basically even, 1.33 for Vegas, 1.34 for Rhode Island. They had 55% possession to our 45. Shots, again, like I said, there's only 7 between the 2 teams at half. Really shows how much of a basketball this game was. Ended with 15 shots for Vegas, 13 for Rhode Island FC. We had 2 big chances to their 0, 82% pass accuracy for Vegas to our 77. Fouls tipped very much in our favor. They had 11 to our 18, and they ended with 8 corners, again, 5 in a row to end the match, with 5 for Rhode Island FC. Noah Fuson was the man of the match, according to FOTMob. I believe Hugo won it from the Defiance. It is tough with the 290-plus minute goals when the Defiance voting starts at like the 75th minute, I believe. So always tough when that happens. But, again, extremely exciting game. Something that, I think there's a lot to discuss, which we will. But we'll quickly touch on the forfeit before we go into the Kano presser and then some slides here. So just to be clear about what happened. So like I mentioned, in the 84th minute, Vegas had a sub come on named Colville. So this is if you all can see it, this is the roster sheet that both teams, entered into the league. You will see the guy's name is like 3/4 of the way down the sheet, like 5 up or 6 up from the bottom. And he has an X all the way to the right under the U/A column, which is the unavailable column. So basically they misfilled out this form, which kind of tells the league and the team their roster, and they marked that guy unavailable, which is why the kind of refs ended up checking. What they were checking was the sheet, the one they had on them, and then the league obviously came back. Vegas did put out a big statement after on Twitter, an hour or 2 ago, very, very long, quite frankly, but sporting director basically saying this is completely my fault. I didn't read the whole thing, quite frankly. But so the league then, I think Rhode Island FC now gets a 3-0 win instead of a 3-1 win. Like you said, the cards, kind of confusing. Again, this just was announced like an hour ago, so there will be fallout throughout the week. Definitely stay tuned to socials about what this means for some of the really minute mechanics of playoffs, Golden Glove, things like that. But yes, this is ruled technically a 3-0 Rhode Island FC win via a forfeit, which is very funny that it happened also in the 84th minute before like all the like super fun shit happened, because all that technically was for nothing. But boy, it'll always live on with me.
Yeah. So like, I'm still trying to figure out the mechanics of this a little bit. Like, do you just think that they didn't realize they had marked this player as unavailable? Because I think people in the chat are saying he was on the game, the social lineups, and obviously the coach put him in. So
yep.
Did the,
So
did the
again, this
team
was the cheat
themselves?
day. Yes,
Okay,
sporting
so the team
directors
themselves
screwed this
didn't
up.
know that they marked him unavailable.
Yes, this was truly a miscommunication. I don't know who communicated to who, but basically someone filled the sheet out wrong is the issue. The sporting director took blame for it on Twitter. I obviously no idea. And there are a lot of very good questions like, what does this mean for Koke's clean sheet status? There's all sorts of stuff. I have absolutely no idea at this point. Again, these kind of things will, I think, kind of filter out. Quite frankly, the league does not do a very good job socializing any of this information. You can't find the rule book if you wanted to. So we will know, and we'll find out. I mean, and to Scott's question, what does this mean for the prediction league? I predicted 3-0. If Matt Jean is in the chat, Matt Jean, feel free to speak on behalf of the prediction league. I do believe the club collector stats are staying. So, feel free, be aware of that. Matt Hand says, I think 3-0 and 3-1 should both count. I completely disagree. It should 3-1 is the game that we watch. I think it is BS to win on a technicality like that. But what are you going to do there?
You've also mentioned club collector twice, and I know that you are just dying to pump how well you did last night.
I would have if it was last year when I was normally doing really well. This year I am just flailing in the mediocrity of mid-table. So I did have a good night because I believed in my team. We'll move on from there. So we will go into next Kano's kind of statement here, which Matt Hands, I did take this press conference one.
First 70 or so minutes was pretty poor. Made some changes. We changed shape. We changed personnel. All of a sudden, we look dangerous. So certainly some things in there for us to consider. But yeah, really proud of everyone that came in, the guys that came off. They showed good support for the teammates, and the noise in the building, the fans was crucial to drive us on, because a lot of those moments when transition moments and the guys just got a little bit extra energy. It was group effort from everyone that was here today supporting us. So just thankful for everyone.
Yeah, so a lot to unpack there. Matt Hand sent this out to us earlier, and I was laughing. I was like, wow, he kind of like summarized the entire match really well for us there. This game really was very poor performance, quite frankly, from Rhode Island FC for that first 70 minutes. But changes were made, which we will talk about in a second with the slides. But I also really appreciated the shout out about the fans and kind of how the atmosphere really pushed the team on there.
Yeah, I think attendance that they announced 9,800 last night, which we know those numbers are a little inflated, but for Sunday 5 p.m. game, quite a crowd. But it took everyone a while to get in their seats, as always, but I was pleasantly surprised.
I was not in my seat at kickoff. The line to still get into the stadium at kickoff was like unbelievable going through the North Gate. So that was definitely tough, but I do know, like, I had a lot of people I know, and we know Patrick McKenna and friends of Patrick McKenna. There was about 80 people there, and 50 of them were children. People have given this feedback like throughout the past 2 years now. We thought it would be rectified this year, but these kind of earlier matches are, one, good for Scott over in Wales, but two, good for kids. And we thought we were going to get more of those since we now owned our stadium. That has not really happened, except for the kind of very beginning of the season. And then these past kind of the match this weekend was supposed to be earlier. They moved it back to 7. I think the following week, the previous match too was like that. So again, hopefully we see more of those. It's a lot easier for the parents with kids and people who want to go to the game. It was a really great crowd, and I'm happy for everyone who stayed to the final, because wouldn't have blamed you if you might have left a little early with how it was looking throughout the match up to that 70-minute mark. But we'll go from there. So, before we get to the slides, why don't we kind of go to the socials quick to recap this one. So we'll start with Twitter here. We have Tyler Hatch, RIFC in 3, void the forfeit. Good, back in the playoff spot, in control of our own destiny. Better, 3 goals scored for only the 3rd time all season in a league match, all from open play. Best, first time winning all season after conceding first, and first win from a losing position as well. We got the ghost of FQB here. Do it again. Good, coming from behind and getting a win at home, where we have looked anemic all season, really showing mental toughness and their never say die attitude. Better above the playoff line. Best, my man Amos Shapiro Thompson keeping the game alive on the line. We got Terrace here with his first of probably many. Did our job. So thank you for everyone on Twitter. I did think it was very funny that Matt gave a good, better, best, and a good, bad, ugly option on this one. We'll see if anyone does a good, bad, ugly here. But we got Terrace again on Instagram kicking us off with 3 big points. We got double O, Oscar. Yes, Oscar. Good, equalizing goal, better, winning goal, best, a third goal for good luck. We got Sibs Rule here with Hugo, Noah, and JJ. Hashtag the best. We got Ben Grimes here is in 3 goals, 3 points. And we got the real Pawtucket J with his in 3 of 3 quote unquote real goals. That is extremely funny. If anyone knows the story of Pawtucket J this year, we did not get any on Facebook, which I checked. And I just realized, Timmy, you jinxed me earlier by saying that one of us was going to have to read through the Tide Talk channel on Discord. And at the time, I did not think it was going to be me, you jerk. So I'm going through here. So we got Matt Hands was so quick on his draw this one. RIFC in 3 from Sarah. Lights are out. Andrew Gomez had RIFC in 3. Tarps off Sunday. Yeah. Yeah. Section 116. A lot of uncovered man chests out. That's a wild way to say that. But yes, people are having fun. We got Mike Howard. Don't give me hope. Love it. We got Matt Hands with massive 3 points, and please go check out his Riptide report, which I was shocked how late it came out. I expected with him being home, it was going to come out in the 85th minute, which would have been interesting in this one. But yeah, shout out to Matt Hands as always there. We got Catherine Provost with Let's Freaking Go. Absolutely love it. We then have Leo O. Good is suffocating pressure at all levels over the first 15 to 20 minutes of the game. I think Timmy, you had a similar take there. Better, Hugo finally getting his first RIFC goal to get us back in the game. Best, suddenly flashing back to the grit and grind we know, love, and dearly miss in the last 15 minutes of the game. RIFC in 3, broken lights leak. We got the real Pawtucket J. Good apple cider Dells. That is not the first person I heard talk about the apple cider Dells. So definitely need to investigate this. It sounds like, just because I'm so used to lemon Dells, like disgusting, but I see the vision. I think I need to try it. So yeah, shout out to Pawtucket J for shouting that out. His better was 3 goals. His best, the teamwork. Pawtucket J, that's adorable. Yep, so we got a lot of Dells chatter in there. Boy, we got Sam D. Good. Hugo is just a baller and it's fun to watch. Couldn't agree more. Better, don't look now, but JJ is heating up. Best, don't look now, but we're starting to connect when guys run the channels. RIFC in 3, push the pace. Absolutely. And then Sam has a really interesting thing, which I am going to come back to. Timmy, don't let me forget. We got Terrace again. Lucky or good? Who cares? The points are. We have Lisa V here in 3. Winning is fun. Absolutely. We got Terrace is good. We won. Better 3. We scored 3 goals. Best 3 big points, and we control our destiny. Absolutely, Terrace. Mr. Playoff Calculator. Timmy will agree on that one. We got Natesky here with RFC in 3. Just win, baby. Is good. Goals, better, goals, best, goals. Absolutely. We got Patrick McKenna, his in 3 years first comeback. Absolutely. And then I'd be remiss not to shout out Timmy for his player ratings. Definitely go check those out on the socials. Those are up on the Tide Talk socials and TideTalkRI.com. We had some people talking. Yeah, Susan talking about how great the energy shifted in the stadium once that Hugo goal went in. We got Tyler with his RIFC in 3. We're still breathing. His good, the first goal. Better, the second goal. Best, the third goal. Nicely done. I know we had some late ones come in. Yes, we got Andrew Milko, which this one I absolutely loved. His RIFC in 3. Bacharachs be Bacharachin. Shout out to his 11-year-old for saying that after Hugo grabbed a yellow card. His good, teamwork, better, AST 77, shot blocking, best, 3 goals plus 3 points. Absolutely. Matt Jean, RFC in 3. Was it a dream? RFC in 3 due to forfeit. And then we got Scott, from our friend from Wales, rounding us out here with good, great subs, better, Hugo, and his best, AST off the line, saving me from a heart attack. RIFC in 3. Hope Koke is okay. And as always, thank you so much for everybody for all the socials. It makes this a ton of fun. Love engaging with you guys there, and always make sure you're tagging us. You're reaching out, asking questions. We absolutely love it here. So like I said, we do have slides here, which I will bring up. So Timmy, this is kind of back to the way I was doing these in focus slides. And boy, oh boy, I got one for you. Hugo at right back. So I think we've talked. This is one of those ones where I talk to the Tie Talk guys so much on and off the air that I don't know what I say with a microphone in front of my face and not. But I've been chirping about this for a long time now. And I've wanted us to go back to back four. I think it fits our team better. It, hopefully will give us more of that offensive spark. We did see Kano allude to this. We changed formation. We changed into that back four. I think some of the subs made a difference. But I love Hugo specifically for this position. And Timmy, you might want to close your eyes for this next slide. I know you know it's coming, but there's a specific reason I love this, because I think Hugo, and for those of you who watch the Premier League, he really reminds me of what Arsenal are doing with Ricardo Calafiori. So Timmy can only be so begrudging about this because he is Italian, so he loves this beautiful ponytailed man. But basically the way that Arsenal have been using Calafiori this season is he just kind of goes wherever the fuck he wants and just causes chaos there. I would love for Hugo to have that job. And one of the things that made me realize this or think about it more, I thought always that Hugo could do it because he plays literally at midfield. He plays a center back. We've seen him go on these marauding runs. But last night, that first goal that when he scores, he's technically playing right back when he's picking the ball up on the left wing. Basically there. I know that I think it was because of a set piece, but he's comfortable playing there. So I would love to see Hugo playing right back, but with this positional freedom where he can really go for it. Find the holes in the team, cover, press, find the defense there. So Timmy, I know you hate that this is an Arsenal comparison, but what are your thoughts on letting Hugo have the fuck it, go wherever you want role?
I mean, to your point, I think he pretty much did last night. Both from the midfield position and from the right. I mean, I think he had a bit less freedom once he moved to that right back position. But yeah, this and your pass map proves it out. But this essentially was what he was doing last night. He was popping up all over the attacking third, which when you think about the fact that that's usually Ibarra playing that position, or it has been for the last few weeks. I don't think you see Ibarra involved and popping up in those areas nearly as much as Hugo did last night. So whether it was an instructional thing or just the way that Hugo takes the game by the reins, I think he was doing this last night. Mm-hmm. I would like to see it continue. I'm not totally confident that it will. I mean, and I don't want to get ahead. Feel free to push this down the line, but do you think we're gonna play a back four next game?
I'm gonna push this one down the line. I would like to kind of end on what does this mean going forward, because that's a great question. I would love to talk about it. Okay. Yeah, all this Euro stuff in the chat, guys. This is all about letting Hugo let him fly. That's all my thing is. Let him be a peacock and let him fly. And to me, you know why I think we should let him fly, and who enables him to do this? It's our guy Clay Holstad. Putting Clay Holstad in midfield with Hugo at right back allows him to really interchange. It allows Clay with his ability to cover to kind of potentially, if Hugo's going, Clay can slot back in and cover that channel so that we're not left out. Or, if Hugo's staying home, Clay can then roam forward. They make a really fantastic 1-2 duo in this sense. I also thought Amos, when he was in the game, kind of had that kind of sense as well, so that he could also cover and track back. Could also see a Harivao doing this as well. So I think having those mobile midfielders along with a very free-ranging right back could do a lot for us, especially on the offensive end, while not giving up too much defensively, which, again, the defensive stability this year has been really fantastic. But I think we need to let up a little bit of it to really see this offense continue to come alive here.
Yeah, I mean, I think
please argue that Clay Holstad shouldn't play midfield. Just get booed off this channel really quick.
No, not at all. I think what you're describing is the good version and the benefit of us having an entire team of versatile players. To your point, there's about 4 different combinations or more in midfield that we could run out, and all of those guys can do rotations. Clay can slide out wide when Hugo comes inside. These are all the good versions or the good things about having this versatile of a squad compared to how we've more seen it applied this season and how I worry we'll see it applied going forward, which is I don't have a better option, so I'm going to take a player who's out of his best position to play him somewhere where I don't have someone to play.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll see there. So next up, we have Noah and JJ. So I talked about this earlier about how they're really heating up, and I think it was we just had this up in the Discord. It was a great question. I want to make sure I quote the person for it.
Sam D.
Sam D. Do you know what he said?
Nope. But I know I can't let you forget.
Oh, here it is. Also want to say I feel like JJ is heating up in part because Noah is heating up. And I have to say strong agree here. So we talked a bit about them last episode, but Noah and JJ, their partnership really was one of the big reasons we went on such a run. Noah ended up as the league's golden playmaker, which is the person with the most assists. But his form and what brought him to that place was really towards that latter third of the season of the schedule. And that's also when we saw JJ really start to heat up. On the slide here, you'll see their last 4 matches, and they're both scoring, assisting for each other. They're both above a 7 into the 8s in terms of FOTMOB rating here. We won't get into Timmy's actual ratings, but I think you gave them both a 7, which for you is pretty unbelievable here. So, Timmy, anything on Noah and JJ's what's seeming like a resurgence in this partnership here?
Could we not say that Harivo being back in the midfield lineup is also coinciding with these good performances? And the only reason I'm suggesting it this way is I think we build up a lot better with Harivo in the midfield, and his chemistry with Noah and any combination of Quizera when they're building up down the left. Both of them, I think, are good at getting on the end of JJ's when he wins a ball in the midfield, which is something we were missing for a very long time. So completely on board with both of these guys are getting hot. I think Noah's playing the best he's played all season, without a doubt.
Yes.
JJ's certainly in a good patch of form, not for the first time this season, but I do think there are some other circumstances and things that have changed that are helping both of them play better. And the big one for me is Harivo being back in the lineup.
That is a really good shout to me. Haribo, we speak about kind of the resurgence at the end of the season for both Noah and JJ last year, but that was also when Haribo really cemented his place in the midfield as well. So we've talked on the show about kind of maybe remembering some of the lessons he learned last year and applying them this year, and I think that's a good one. And again, a lot of this, especially the Haribo and JJ, quite frankly, this whole year was based on health. So hopefully they can stay healthy, but also continue to remember those lessons and build on the chemistry here. So quickly, I did say I was going to bring back this graph here. So our expected goal differential by match, unfortunately, as you saw, we won it by, I think, 0.01. So that took a dip. But when you look at it rolling over the past 5, we are still kind of hanging up there. A few more good performances, and we could really see this even out towards what we were seeing towards at the end of the 2024 season here. So again, not everything is fixed. There's plenty more to come. I think if you ended this game in the 70th minute, we would be having a pretty much a funeral of a podcast here for the season. So, but obviously some really big goals, some really big plays from this team that turned this into a win. Obviously, forfeit would have made, if we lost last night, a very weird podcast today. But again, all these things don't matter because we took the points home both via forfeit and via what happened on the pitch here. Yeah, Timmy, any kind of final thoughts on anything I just talked at you for 5 minutes on?
I mean, as you were just pulling up those last 2 charts, I understand why our XG wasn't anything crazy last night, but I actually think the numbers were a little unkind to how many chances we actually created. Yeah. I think part of it is the goals we scored were, Hugo's wouldn't have been a very high XG chance. Noah's maybe not even, because that wasn't a particularly easy finish.
JJ's that wasn't either, because the keeper's there, which I think keeper positioning really matters a lot. So
yeah. So and there were a few chances even outside of the 3 goals that we scored. JJ had a good headed chance shortly, I think, before the Hugo goal. So
I'm actually
Yeah,
surprised both team just wasn't higher, quite frankly, because they had about
I agree.
37 shot attempts, especially
In the last 20
end.
minutes alone. Yeah. Yeah. So just as far as, I don't think your chart is totally sunk. I think those numbers were a little unkind to us
I want to
last
be
night.
so clear. I could give a shit about my chart as long as we keep winning. That is all that matters here, especially at this point of the season. But so Timmy, two things to end this one tonight. So I'm gonna throw a question back at you. Just ask me. But do you think we see Kano line up with that kind of more attacking lineup with a back four next match?
Strictly prediction, I'm going to say no. What I feel like needs to happen is there needs to be a medium between the incredibly conservative, very defensively sound team that we've been all season who can't create a chance to save our lives. There needs to be a middle ground between that and what we did for the last 20 minutes of last night, which was 4 attackers, throw everybody forward, have your center backs almost in the box to win long headers, like everybody forward. There needs to be something in the middle of that, because as great as it was to watch that last 20 minutes last night, we will not win games playing like that for 90 minutes. We could have lost the game last night. There were so many chances going both ways. I don't think that was a sustainable way to play. So I don't think that we'll do it again, just given how conservative Kano's been all season. I would like to see us find a middle ground between last 20 minutes of last night and the entire season before that. I don't have an exact suggestion for what that is, but what do you think?
So I think Kano specifically saying that there's some lessons to be taken. I am going to say that I don't know if I even believe this, but I'm going to put it into the universe. I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to, because for a long time this season, we were a back four team. I think he now has the pieces. If that's the team he wanted to be, we have most of the team healthy at this point. So if going into this year, he saw that roster and said, this is a back four roster, he now really has all the tools available, especially if Hugo was a huge part of that to make it happen. So I'm going to put it out into the universe that Kano is going to roll with the back four, and we are going to see it might not work. It might blow up. It might just not produce what I'm hoping it does, but I think it's going to happen. I think he's going to see the lessons. And I also hope we see him reverting to some of those people, such as a Clay Holstad in midfield, a Zachary Haraval in midfield. We've already seen that partnership there. Dare I say I'll finally see my midfield three of Haraval, Maxi, and Clay. We'll see, but obviously an Amos in there would be fantastic as well. So I think I'm hoping he takes that lesson. Again, it could be crazy, but I'll also just take a very entertaining game, the final one at home.
So who do you think would be the back four then? Who do you think will start for the back four?
In my fake world where I get to decide this stuff,
obviously Hugo right back.
Hugo right back.
Cal Fiore.
He's going to go do whatever he wants. I would like to see two center backs of Karifa Yao and Amy Mabika. And then I would like to see, so there's kind of two ways you can do this. One is you have more of a very defensive left back. So you could put like a Grant Stoneman there or a Frank, or you could put a Diop there. We know he can play fullback there. I also think that would be very harsh on Aldair. But if you were playing this truly as like trying to balance as much as possible, I'd probably put Diop there because he is more of that center back profile. You then have that midfield three of Maxi, Clay, and one of Haraval or Amos. And then I would love to see JJ, Noah, and Quizera, and let it rip.
Okay. Yeah. I like that. I would go Aldair at that left back spot personally.
Yeah, I'd take that.
Maybe bring on Diop if we're so lucky as to be up a goal. But I like what you're saying. I'm on board with it. Just again, for me, based on the evidence we have of this season, I don't expect.
I want to be so clear. You're going to be right. I just want to put this into the universe.
And I do think, and Sean is mentioning it in the chat, like I also wouldn't be mad if we go to a back three and the defensive. Tampa's scoring a lot of goals over their last few games, and I wouldn't be upset. I mean, that was a bad team we were playing against last night. I wouldn't be terribly upset if we do go more conservative for Tampa next weekend.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Again, I would love to just have a really one more fun game. I had a grand old time last night. And yes, someone said free Rio. I believe Rio is still on the injury report.
He is.
Yeah, Rio is still on the injury report. So we do obviously miss Rio on this show, but he has been hurt, unfortunately. So more to come there. So, Timmy, any final thoughts on this match, on the playoff push here?
I mean, I would like to hear your thoughts on basically if we'll make the playoffs, because I've confused myself, and I will tell you why. Last weekend I was saying I think Detroit City will get 7 points, Indy 11 will get 7 points, we will get 5 points, and that would cause us to miss the playoffs. The results for each team that I predicted are what happened. So nothing's changed about my prediction, but I now feel like we will make the playoffs.
Oh, I mean, it happens every week. You get that, especially, we win, we get that hopium running through our veins.
Yeah.
So, no, I think when we talked about that was on the record saying, I think we would get 8th place.
I think so.
I think so. I still believe we'll get 8th. There's going to be a lot of twists and turns in this. Next Saturday is a huge one in this race. Tampa, as Timmy says, has been scoring a lot of goals, and they are right there behind us. Technically could catch us if we really fall off. So a lot more to come. Even Pittsburgh, who's in 6th place, like they're not super far out. Like I know Matt Jean, if he was in the chat, would be saying he thinks we're going to be in 6th place. So quite frankly, there's a lot to come. I don't think there's any way you could fully look me dead in the eyes and tell me which way this is going to go. And if you did, I would call you a liar. So I think I'm on the record saying 8th place. I still feel like 8th place, but anything could happen. Again, this team we are unbeaten in our last 5. We are playing the best we played all year. That is not something to win a trophy for that, or even guaranteed points. But I do think we are, if you want to call it, peaking at the right time, because this is the best we played all year.
Yeah, anyone can get hot and do something in the playoffs. It wouldn't shock me.
Oh, look at us. We're just absolute fools. Look at us. A couple of wins and we're all smiles, and maybe we are actually good. Let's do it. I mean, I literally made a slide. Really. I made a slide last week that said, "Are we good?" So this, I am right there with you, my friend.
Yeah, my answer hasn't changed to "Are we good?" I'm feeling good. Last night was fun. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, listen, Sean has Indy is falling. I don't know. Indy's the weirdest team going, because you'll say that and they'll look like they'll never win a game again, and then they'll win the stupidest game. I was expecting them to beat Louisville at one point. I was like, they're just going to do it just to make this extremely shitty and weird. So again, there's going to be so many twists and turns. We are now down to 3 matches left in this season. Hopefully it's more than 3 because of the playoffs, but 3 regular season matches here. So yes, the final home match is this weekend. It is a 7 p.m. kickoff, I believe. It's updated most places. FOTMob has it as 4, but it is a 7 p.m. Kickoff. So make sure you have that all squared away.
Close to a sellout.
Close to a sellout. So get some tickets. I know they're doing the jerseys. The players giving jerseys away. I know we'll have the Defiance Man of the Year, the Player of the Year. I know there's some big merch sale. So if you've been looking to get a jersey or something, I know there's gonna be some big sales in the team store. So it should be a fun one. Last time potentially that we're at the first ever year at Centerville Bank Stadium. So hope to see everyone there. It should be a great tailgate, great march in, and hopefully a great match with 3 points staying in Rhode Island. But that'll wrap things up for this one. Just a reminder that Tide Talk is more than just a podcast. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook for daily social media content. Also have to shout out the blog at tidetalkri.com, where you can find player ratings, pre and post match analysis, and our take on the latest RIFC news. I've been your host, Ryan, and a big thank you for Timmy for joining me tonight, both in the Netherlands and back in East Providence, which definitely prefers internet connection in East Providence. But most importantly, thank you to everyone who joined us in the chat live, and anyone who supports the work that we do. We'll see you next time, and as always, up the tide.
Up the tide.